So welcome back. So this is kind of the beginning of the internal work of the garage. We've actually been working on it before, but we were splitting our time between doing a little bit on the garden and doing a little bit on the garage. The garden's finished now, so we're up to the garage. So we got a load of wood, lumber delivered. Come on, let's take a look inside and see what we're building. So we did get our electricity in, and we do have some temporary lights. And we have some more lumber in here. So the first thing that we're doing is we're going to be building our loft. Our friend John cut us all this custom wood literally out of trees. He has a sawmill and he loves to cut wood. So he made us these, and there's reasons why these are better, and we'll talk about those. He also made us these 2x4s. Now what's special about these 2x4s is that they are actually 4 inches wide, not 3.5 inches wide like the ones you buy at the store. And they're actually 4.25 inches thick. And why that's important is this wall is a double wall. And each of these pieces of steel post is 4.25 inches. So it's a double wall. We're going to be able to get a total of over 4 inches of insulation in here. But this is not true of this side. This side only has one metal post. So by adding these special 2x4s, we're now at the same depth as this wall. Now we can put our 2x6s on top. Again, these were made by John. You can see how thick they are. These are actually 2 inches wide and actually 6 inches deep. And they will go all across the top. And this is going to become our loft. So the loft will be up there. It'll come out 10 feet. It'll be 10 feet wide. It'll have a 2-foot overhang, so the area will end roughly here, but the loft will continue an additional 2 feet. And so the idea, as we have it at the moment, is to build a staircase which starts somewhere here. And the only thing that actually sticks out a little bit into the garage is the staircase. And so we go up from here. By the time we reach this point, which is a landing, we will be this high. And then by the time we reach right here, we will be up there, 8 feet high. And so that means that most of this is loft. We've wasted as little space as possible. Beneath the loft, hiding the posts and all that, will be a small, relatively small storage room that will go from about here, minus the staircase, and then, of course, big beams. And then here, we hope to build something akin to a diner with, some big, beautiful neon signs, etc. And, the little round seats, a nice counter, some cabinetry in the back. So it'll be kind of a diner, so there'll be a wall here. There'll actually be a door that will lead into the additional storage space that we're building here. So we'll have all that storage up there in this. And so there'll be a little bit of a diner here, really cute. On top, above the diner, right here, there'll be a part that's, like that, right? It's the beams, but it's about that thick. And we'll have like neon, like little koala drinks or the little neon signs that you find in bars and diners, Should be cute. And then here is an open area. And there'll be a couple of seating arrangements here. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. Maybe there'll be TV seats, the recliner guys. Maybe I'll put in a diner booth. I don't know. But something with a big screen TV. So this will be a media area, right? So we'll be able to do all that stuff. And then there's the loft above. Now in the loft, so far, the plan, remember, all of this changes as you're designing, But the loft so far, if you imagine, we go up the stairs, right? We get to about here, we're standing up there. So each of these pieces of metal here, these stressors, they're 4 feet apart. So this line right here is 8 feet. So when you look from here to there at the 8-foot mark, you would actually see a wall. There'll be a wall up there. And that wall is basically designed to hide the fact that the loft is the place where we're going to store all the spare parts for the cars. Spare wheels, carburetors, all that stuff that's lying around all over the place will be hidden on shelves, etc., behind there. And that's going to leave us a little over 2 feet, a little over 2.5 feet to walk. There'll be a railing, and we'll be able to walk in front of that wall. And up there, on that wall, facing this way, facing us, I want to have some kind of interesting sign. Maybe it'll say LRH Garage or something, I'm not sure. And then up here in this corner on the loft, we might put a racing simulator, I don't know, something interesting, and, some decorations up there. So when you look from down here at the loft, what you see is entertainment. You see eye candy. But what's really up there, hiding behind a fake wall, is piles of stuff, piles of wheels and carburetors and all kinds of stuff. But that's sort of the idea. And we're trying to do it all, taking up as little room as possible, but being as efficient as possible. Because, you build these things, and when you build them, you say, oh, that's so big. It gets small so fast, If we were to put cars in here back to back, like those two are right there, right? So if you were to put them back to back, you'd be able to put one more where Jason's standing right now. And so that's 3 cars. And if you imagine that, they're a little bit too far away from the wall, right? So if you imagine them just a little bit closer to the wall, you can clearly see that you'd be able to put 1, 2, 3 rows of 3 cars in here. So technically speaking, this is a 9-car garage. Well, we're trying to fit a lot more than that in here. So our plan is to run cars this way, and we should be able to fit 6 of them this way. And then if we put 3, 1, 2, 3 back to back, we're back to 9 cars. But what we're going to do instead is run 6 cars this way, and then we're going to have 4 stackers, so that the 4 middle cars can be raised with 4 cars under it. So now you fit 10 cars here. 3 more, that's 13. I don't like the number 13. So we'll probably put some kind of lift over here as well, at least one, so we can have a total of 14 cars. So we'll either have 12 or 14 cars. We're not going to have 13. But so that's how we're doing it. But to make all that happen, it gets really tight over here. So we have to compromise what we do with the loft. To do that, we have to compromise what we do with a staircase, and you go back and forth, and you steal a little from here, you give a little to there until you finally get some compromise. And that's what we've been doing now for the past couple of days, is designing and redesigning the loft idea and how this works. I think we have most of the plan. I can certainly see the outcome. So now we start. We spent the day today, Jason and I, at shops picking up wood and nails and screws and guns and piles of stuff. Tomorrow, we start the electrical work in here. We're going to run all the electricity, or start running all the electricity, the mini splits, electricity, all that stuff. But at the same time we're doing that, we're going to start the work on the loft. So we have someone coming to help us. It should be very, very busy here tomorrow. My hope is that we come to the end of the weekend with much of the electricity in place, probably not all, definitely not all, but much, and much of the loft in place, probably not all, but much. We should, at least by the end of the weekend, be able to know that it's a loft, be able to see that it's a loft. And so that's sort of where we are, and hopefully we finish this loft tout sweet. Because then we can finish up the electricity, and then we're down to insulation and sheetrock, and if we could just get to the painting, which I hate painting, but at least you start to give it color, So I'm trying not to put us under time pressure. We were under tremendous time pressure with the garden because nature doesn't wait for you, and we wanted to have a vegetable garden this year. We didn't think we were going to make it, and Jason and I almost killed ourselves, but we did it. Okay. I could do that to us again now by saying, boy, wouldn't it be nice to have the garage done for the winter, and we could run the cars in here. You notice there's only 2. The others are in our regular garage down in the house. So all of our cars have been relegated to the outside, and they're going to live outside in the snow. But if we could finish the garage, or at least get it to the point where it's insulated, heated, and has lights, we could bring all the cars in here for the winter. I don't think we're going to be able to. Maybe we will, but I'm not going to put us under tremendous pressure to do that. But so that's sort of the plan, and I'm hoping that that you'll come by and watch us build. But I can tell you this, if we manage to do even some resemblance of what I can see in my mind, this is going to be a gorgeous place. The kind of place you just want to come in here and hang out. The kind of place you come in here to have lunch or to have a couple of drinks with your friends. And the cars are the decorations. So, good hangout place, big screen TVs, you come here to watch a game or watch a race. Think of it as a really pimped up cave, but for the whole family, So we'll have video games in here and, all the stuff you would find in a diner, the little games that you can play and you win something when it falls just right, and a jukebox and a refrigerator that looks like a Coca-Cola dispenser, all of that stuff, all that eye candy will be in here. A gorgeous floor. So that's where we're headed. I hope we achieve it. So take a good look around, because, it doesn't look, well, it looks pretty nice. I mean, it's a nice looking garage, but you know what I mean. It doesn't look anything like what I'm describing. So look around, because it's not going to look like this when we're done. Thank you for visiting. Keep coming back. See if we manage to do it. Take care.